John Lennon interview when he's talking about meeting Paul McCartney for the very first time, and he says, here's this young kid. He's better than anybody else in the group. He's probably better than me, but if he's going to make the group better, then like, so be it. Plus, he looks just like Elvis, and I dug him. And we all know what Paul said about meeting John for the very first time. Paul said that he looks good and he sounds good, and I like what he's doing with the lyrics, even though he's got a crappy guitar. But you got to know that Paul McCartney was probably very intimidated, or a little intimidated at the least, by a young John Lennon, because even back then, like a force of nature. I mean, we've all seen the photographs, okay? And we've all heard, those old tapes of him, from that Village Fete that day in 1957. So Paul McCartney, John Lennon, both intimidated a little bit by one another, but also turned on by one another right from the get-go. And I think, to my way of thinking, this is the whole dynamic in a nutshell. You have, that sweet and salty relationship, making that creative tension